Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, today we have Tjark Wyrdbane, the second and latest Space Wolf character that is being released in Tacticus. Although he isn't officially released via his event tomorrow, I'm doing my customary sneak preview 24 hours prior to release. I'll outline the usual format that these videos follow. First we have the lore in 60 seconds, then I'll go over his character kit and skills, show you some gameplay footage demonstrating those skills in action, and finally a character summary infographic. A brief note on the giveaways: congrats to Halmar and Sam Birch. Halmar is interested in the changes to the new battle pass, and Sam wanted the 1,000 Suns instead of the Dark Angels. Well, hopefully you're still happy with the shards. On to the lore. The Hounds of Morkai are the Space Wolf Reaver units. A Reaver is a close combat specialist space marine who is tasked with rapid infiltration and lightning assaults. They break from the shadows in a sudden burst of fury and terror. The Hounds of Morkai embody these traits, but also include a unique Space Wolf flavor. True to the Psyker hatred that the Space Wolves have, the Hounds of Morkai are relentless hunters of enemy Psykers. On the tabletop, they deal more damage to enemy Psykers and have special runic totems that neuter the effects of enemy Psykers. They also have a Grapnel launcher that allows them additional freedom of movement, again on the tabletop. Let's take a look at Tjark in-game. The first thing to comment on is, as usual, the art department has done a fantastic job. I think his character model looks amazing. He's got a wolf pelt on, he's got a really large knife, and his face and skull mask are a sight to behold. Well done, art department, as usual. We can see his stats here scaled to level 50, and he has movement 3, which is standard in game. He has a melee attack with 4 hits that does physical damage, and we know that physical damage has a 1% pierce ratio. This bar along the side of physical damage also reflects the pierce amount that the damage type does, so it's at the bottom for physical damage, reflecting its 1% ratio. And he has a fairly standard array of equipment. In terms of traits, we see that he has Infiltrate and Terrifying, reducing damage from melee attacks. Next up, we can take a look at his skills, starting with his active, Grapnel Launcher. What this does is it targets an enemy within 3 hexes and pulls them toward Tjark, and Tjark moves into the occupied space if it's free. So as the name and ability suggests, you fire a launcher at the enemy and pull him towards you. Next up, let's have a look at his passive, Hunters Beyond Death. This passive shows that he has increased damage against Psykers and also reduces enemy Psyker damage within 2 hexes. It also completely removes the Smite ranged attack that Psykers additionally get. In this clip we see Tjark use his Grapnel launcher against Eldrion. He moves to within 3 hexes and targets him with the Grapnel launcher, pulling him 1 square and then taking the hex that was just recently vacated. In this clip we see his active being used again, however slightly differently due to the fact that the hex that Eldrion is on has surrounding barriers that count as impassable terrain. Instead, Tjark pulls himself closer but does not adjust Eldrion's position. In this clip we put Tjark in action against Eldrion to see how his passive affects the Eldari. The first thing you'll notice is that Eldrion has his damage reduced due to the Hunters Beyond Death effect. Effectively, he's only doing 2 damage down to the characters at the bottom of the screen. The next thing you'll notice as well is that his smite damage from his secondary Psyker attack does not bounce to a second target like the descriptor suggests. Each time he attacks, it only damages the direct target. This is again a reflection of the nullification being applied by Tjark. This is the character summary infographic. The feedback when I included this last time was generally positive, so I'll continue to incorporate this for future character release videos. Overall, I think that Tjark's role is going to be PvP based. He's an extremely mobile character that can target and punish enemy Psyker compositions heavily. I'm not convinced he'll have a great place in guild raids with his current kit, but time will tell, particularly with the addition of future Space Wolves. With the way that Snowprint have been going lately with the character kits based on PvP, I can't help but feel like there is some new PvP content coming soon. Hopefully it's the war feature that so many of us have been anticipating, but that is pure speculation for the time being. I wanted to draw your attention to the stat radar, which I've done slightly differently this time based on all of your comments and feedback. This time I have represented the character stats in each domain as a centile. For example, Tjark's armor stat puts him in the 74th centile in the game. This representation, I think, gives you a better flavour for where each character stands in the meta as it is released. For a better understanding about these numbers and how they're calculated, I'd encourage you to check out the video that I did with Tawan on my YouTube channel. He's a Tacticus ambassador and an invaluable resource and mind in terms of understanding the game. We've been speaking and scheming recently, and he's got another great idea about a new video that I hope to bring out in the next few weeks. That's all I've got. Although short and sweet, editing these videos and creating the infographics takes a lot of time. All the positive comments and feedback that you all leave are what continue to motivate me to do this. If you're a newer player to the game, I'd really appreciate if you could consider using my Refer a Friend code. It really goes a long way. Finally, if you're a player looking to make the next step in their journey and climb up the Tacticus leaderboards, feel free to reach out to us via Discord link in the video description. Panzerforce is a cluster of the top guilds in the game, and we're always looking for new recruits. That's all for now, folks. Stay tuned in a few days for when I preview Mortarion, the newest guild boss to come to Tacticus. Bye now.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi.